Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Bix Weir, roadroo.com. Good morning, Horses. Your sip of chaga coffee. Nice little action in silver this morning. Up 40 cents. Ooh, big deal. They were trying to mess with the 200-day moving average yesterday, and they just couldn't do it. Normally what would happen with all the tech traders, there'd be a little spike, maybe to $25, $26, then a slam back down to the 200-day moving average, then it moves up quickly. You can see that happen here. There's a spike down. That's where we are now, well below. Then it rises up and then spikes down. And then rises. This is all on computer programs, so whatever. But as you can see over here, 200-day moving average has been penetrated soundly. Nice job, 200-day moving average. We should continue at least technically speaking. When you look at silver, right here, you can see the decision, right in here, the decision was made, this is in 2020, to let silver run free a little bit and play the game of silver manipulation. That's when they slammed the price of silver down in February of 2020. They slammed the price of silver from $18 way on down to under $13. Crazy. Why did they do that? To get out all the shorts to facilitate that move. That's the way this game is played. It's all done, all rigged on computers. The CFTC is completely in the pocketbook, meaning most likely Rustam Benham is looking forward to a big payoff when he gets out ahead of the CFTC. His big payoff happens on Washington, in New York, every single time. The only guy who didn't really run to the big money was Bart Chilton. He ran to a firm, but yeah, everybody's got to make a living. But a regulator jumping in and out of banking is not a good regulator, obviously. So Rustam Benham's expecting a big payoff, and he'll get it. I remember the CFTC's Mr. Magoo, Michael Dunn, probably the dumbest human being that's ever been a regulator on the commodity regulation board. They finally had to walk his ass out, and where did he end up? At the DTCC. Can you believe that? You can't make this stuff. The Depository Clearing Corporation. That's where all the stock certificates are held in the name of Seed and Company. But not only stock certificates, bonds, bearer bonds, swaps. When Michael Dunn went over to this DTCC, that's right when he had approved, and the other board members of the CFTC, he had approved that all the swaps contracts will be held at the DTCC vault at 55 Water Street in New York. And a month later, we have Hurricane Sandy, and Michael Dunn, who's in charge of that vault, left the vault door open, and $33 trillion worth of paper documents were flooded. They didn't hurt him enough, so what they did is they pumped the water out and then start a fire. They started a fire and burned everything that was left. It's all in the newspapers. You can still see it. 55 Water Street, Sandy Hook, fire, flood, con. So many cons out there. But Michael Dunn got a nice little package when he left. I'm sure Rustam Benham is looking for a much better package than Michael Dunn got. I heard he was making $1 million a year to leave the DTCC vault door open during Hurricane Sandy. It's just, that's the insane world we live in. All right. What's going on with Russia? Everything. The sanctions have begun. That means everybody's going to start questioning where they want to hold their assets. And the most obvious way out of that is gold, silver, and cryptos. If you're smart and you know why you're getting the money out of the bank, and you're looking at gold and you're looking at silver, you'll pick silver. Silver's going to do 80 times better than gold. Gold's going to do fine, but silver's going to do 80 times better than gold. Very many reasons. Obviously, silver's more useful than gold will ever be. But it's also an industrial metal and a monetary metal. So it gets the best of both worlds. It has been price suppressed for 170 years at 80 to 1 ratio, or 80, right around 80 to 1 ratio right now. Above ground stocks are 6 billion ounces of each. Everything points to a 1-to-1 ratio between silver and gold, and I think it is coming. So obviously, I recommend when people just the other day they said, Bix, what would you buy? Silver, gold, or Theta? And they didn't have anything. I said, here's what you do. You buy half in silver and half in Theta. You have your feet both half, 50-50 in both worlds. Silver's for the short-term end of manipulation. Theta's for the long-term future of humanity. There you go. That was my recommendation. This is not financial advice. Anyway, so the VEB, the Russian bank sanctioned by Biden yesterday, has an uncomfortable history with Jerry Kushner, JP Morgan, Citibank. Kushner's a criminal, trying to prove himself to daddy. Yeah, he's not a good man. Anyway, and then Russia's Ministry of Finance submits a Bitcoin proposal. Surprise, surprise. Once again, David Morgan's guest, John Perez, is wrong. I watched the latest conspiracy theory, and David kind of narrates doesn't narrate the conversation, but he guides it. It's this guy John Perez who has these theories on cryptocurrencies, but David did say Bix Weir says that Bitcoin is going to zero. I did say that, but I also said silver and gold are going to zero, and they can go to minus $40. It's the exchange I was pointing out, not the fallibility of Bitcoin. All the exchanges are frauds, just like in silver. All the exchanges are fraud. Silver's probably going to go to zero. They put oil at minus $40. Of course, they could put Bitcoin at zero and silver at zero. It doesn't mean you can get any. You can't. Silver will become unobtainium, meaning you can't get it even if you're Elon Musk looking to make an electric car. It's going to take a little time for the price to settle out where it needs to go to equal out supply and demand. What's going to happen when everybody and their mother is scrambling for monetary metals? They'll look at gold, and within 2 minutes they'll know, oh my God, I should buy silver because gold's great, but silver is on steroids. Massively suppressed. And that's where we are. That's why it's so exciting to see the tech guys on our side. When you look at the 200-day moving average here, firm penetration. It's got to test it again probably, and then it's off to the races, something like that. And then it's who's going to short. Who would sell silver into a rising silver price this time? With war looming, with the economy struggling, with a massive 800 million ounce short position from Bank of America, a leased short position, not to mention the short position on the COMEX. There's every reason to think that silver will get out of control, just like what Rustam Benham said. We had to tamp down the price of silver because it was getting out of control. Well, you're not supposed to control prices. That's the whole problem. We're supposed to have free market value pricing, not derivatives pricing everything. Out of control means too many derivatives in this crazy market. We need to shut down the COMEX. Shut it down. The world doesn't need derivatives. It needs free markets. But they're not going to do that. They're going to play it to the very bitter end, which means we'll probably get $1 million ounce silver because the idiotic guys at the CFTC, and you still won't be able to buy an ounce. The money printers, the end game is to have the entire banking system implode. So that's how we get to zero silver. No one will have any money and no exchanges will be open. That's how we get to zero Bitcoin too. So, David, you a little misrepresented my statement. I said, yes, Bitcoin's going to zero, but so is silver. And so is gold, and so is everything. It's an exchange derivative problem. It's not a problem with the underlying asset, silver, or Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin has a lot of criminals that own it, but so do gold, and so do silver. So it's like, if you're going to say, oh, we're going to throw away Bitcoin because too many criminals in there, then you're going to throw away gold and silver as well. And Bitcoin doesn't care if you want to throw it away or not. It doesn't care what government comes after him. David had on a guy supposedly invented social media. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he didn't. But I do know that he didn't understand Bitcoin. He didn't understand it at all. He said, "Oh yeah, we were planning Bitcoin back in the 1990s." Well, digital money, yes, but no one could fix the problem, the double spin problem. That's what Bitcoin was. Bitcoin is that invention that you couldn't invent. The guy didn't invent cryptocurrencies. He probably didn't even invent social media. He's probably, I don't know if he even worked for those people. You hear so many claims out of the blue and with little or no proof. And you just got to go with it. Clearly, they've been wrong. Clearly, this guy, John Perez, and the guy crying about losing the patent on social media, clearly they have not been successful. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bitching so much. They just go with the flow. And that's one of the things I have learned is that, hey, Shiba Inu wants to go up, let it go up. Go with the flow. You want to buy some, go for it. I bought a couple $1,000s worth of Shiba Inu. And I can get how if the masses get into it, it could act as a currency. Why not? You can use anything else. Meme coins and stuff like that. My suggestion is, hey, when you double it, take your profit and run. Those of you who haven't followed all the naysayers and cryptos obviously are doing very well. I was giving away 0.1 Bitcoin for a subscription back in the day. Because Bitcoin was $200, and I was giving away $20 worth on a $200 subscription, and now that's worth, I don't even know how much, $33,700. Right now we're giving away T-Fuel at the Road to Ruta. We're giving T-Fuel on a paper wallet. I don't know how much it'll be in the next 5 years, but I know it'll be a hell of a lot higher. And most likely every smart TV on the planet is going to be trying to get some. When they download the Theta protocol on all smart TVs. Remember, Theta is just a software company. They're a technology company that use the crypto incentive method to get people to download a video sharing platform onto their computer, the Edge node. Well, Samsung can do that. Sony can do that. Coming soon to Theta is going to be Netflix, is going to be YouTube, is going to be Apple, is going to be Amazon. That's the ultimate future of Theta, is to be integrated into everything that touches video and more, and NFTs and the metaverse. They announced their metaverse move long before Facebook did. Theta is the call. You don't have to worry about other cryptos. Theta is the call. You can, go for it. But I mean, when you look at what they've done so far and where they're going and what they want to be involved in, it's just shocking. And I would like to point out also that the staked Theta is still at 65%. Nobody's selling their Theta. And you might ask, well, how come the price goes down? Because you have rigged markets. And when we have a tiny, a maximum of 35 million coins that can be traded out of the 1 billion. Pretty soon, Theta will, when Amazon gets their Theta Guardian node going, and YouTube does, and Netflix, and Apple they all get their Guardian or their validator nodes up and running. We're going to be up in the 90-95% range Theta that's staked. That's a liquidity problem to the upside. And then right now, if you own Theta, you're staking it, you get both Theta or Theta Fuel as rewards for the staking, but also T-Drop. You earn T-Drop for the next 3 quarters, I think it is, something like that. So no one's going to get their staked Theta out of there. That we're in it for the long run. Those who understand what Theta is. I mean, I started at the bottom of the rabbit hole, which is Theta is necessary for the internet to even function. Because broadband is being soaked up so fast, eaten alive, we need a mesh network. We can't put smart towers on every street corner. 5G towers go 100 yards. That's it. 100 yards. There will be others. Theta's the mothership of the future, and I think it's going up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, maybe even $10,000 in 10 years. They might think, oh my God, Bix, if it did that would be a problem with the US dollar. Of course, we have a problem with the US dollar. All fiat money. And yeah, when the banks crash, Theta is going to go to zero, just like silver's going to go to zero, and gold's going to go to zero, and Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Why? It's not the underlying asset's fault. You're still going to have your underlying asset. You won't be able to get it at zero. You can't buy another Theta if it goes to zero, or Bitcoin, or silver, or gold. That's when we learn that the exchanges are the problem. The exchanges are derivative exchanges. You really think that the LBMA, which is supposed to exchange physical, exchanges over 100 billion ounces of silver every year? No. It's all a fraud with fake numbers and derivatives. And that's the world we live in today. So yes, very excited seeing silver take out the 200-day moving average. I think it'll go up a little bit, test it one more time, and then it's off to the races. If the tech world, these guys can do anything with computers and derivatives, but they got to be able to take the losses, and Bank of America can't soak up these losses. They made a stupid move, Moynihan. I mean, it might be the trigger of a force majeure when, don't you find it interesting? Silver's breaking all these barriers, and we need to go to war all of a sudden. It's completely ridiculous. This is a monetary war. It is not a war of an aggressor, and nobody. When Kamala Harris said the American people are behind this decision to back the Ukraine and get involved, no, we aren't. I would never let her lead me into battle. I would let her go first, and then I'd walk away and go get a cup of coffee and see what happens to her. But yeah, you're not my vice president. Oh my God, I hear liberals, when people say that and get offended by the, let's go Brandon stuff. Do you remember what they were saying when Trump was president? 50 times worse. And, you had comedians with severed heads of Trump and shit like that. These liberal Democrats crack me up. The criers. Anyway, that's where we are. Go to roadtoroota.com, hit subscribe today, and we will send you, if you sign up for 1 year, $2.99, we'll send you 50 T-Fuel loaded on a paper wallet and sent to your front door. You don't even have to know how to deal with cryptos, or we can send it over the crypto exchange. If you can get it, if you have a Theta wallet, we'll just send it via, 30 seconds later on onto your wallet, from wallet to wallet. That's the beauty of crypto. And no, the government can't shut down crypto wallets. Theoretically. There are ways, but there's ways to get around it as well. They can't shut it down. They can't confiscate it, but they can block it. Or blacklist it so that anytime a transaction, they can track you. Yes, absolutely. But they can't confiscate your wallet unless you decide to give it to them if you store it correctly. Get your coins out of Kraken, out of Coinbase, out of Gemini, out of any exchange. That's where they can get your coins, and they will. Truckers are headed to D.C., and it's going to turn out a lot like what's going on in Canada. I think they arrived there on the day that Biden gives the inauguration. Biden's already said he's extending the emergency powers on COVID. COVID's gone, and Biden's extending the emergency powers that were to expire on March 1st. So we'll see what happens. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you guys later.